Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and I wanted to talk a little Planetside today, specifically starting off with the server merge between Mattherson and Waterson. Now, I don't think it's actually been confirmed with a date or anything like that, but what we have seen is a tweet basically stating that that Waterson and Mattherson are looking good for a server merge. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I think we can look at this in a couple different ways. I'm going to try and look at this from the positive and say, my main is on Waterson, I've got an alt on Mattherson. And overall, there seems like there's a lot of slow times on both of those servers, especially during daytime hours. Waterson seems to have weird peak hours in general. But it's going to help kind of fill the population during some of the off hours. And I think we all like some of the bigger fights and actually seeing some alerts that pop up that are a little bit more competitive. Now, I went through and I looked at some stats, and I'll post a link to the website that I was using, but over the last week, Waterson seemed to have NC with almost always the highest population, with TR and VS kind of flip-flopping back and forth between each other. Over the last week on Mattherson, we saw NC and VS flip-flopping between the higher pop, with TR mostly being the lowest. Now, there's different peak times for each faction, and alerts obviously have an impact on that. But I think this might help to kind of balance things out, especially between the NC and the VS. It seems like the TR, just based on population alone, might be getting a little bit of the short end of the stick, as far as the population numbers go, at least. Now, when Hassan releases, I think it's going to help to have more players, since we're going to be spread out over 4 continents now. Now, I don't necessarily think that we wouldn't be able to do that where it stands today, but I mean, think about where we are. I mean, we've got 3 continents currently, and we're very Endar side related. We tend to, stick to what we know. It's good. It's going to be good to have a new place to fight when Hassan comes out. I think we're going to see more population there anyways because it's new and fun and people want to try it. But after that novelty wears off, are players going to migrate back over to Endar? Probably. I mean, who knows? Maybe Hassan blows our minds. But either way, I think the population is going to be spread out more, so having more just general players is going to be a good thing. Now, my concern with this comes in the form of continent locking, and what actually happens when an entire faction of 2 servers is crammed onto a few continents. Let's say maybe TR locks out one continent and VS locks out another one. Well, if you want the good fights, then it's probably going to be on 2 continents. And then you've got 2 full servers trying to play on Waterson or Mattherson or whatever the name ends up being. I'm concerned that we're going to see wait times increase based on that, and I think it's something that they're just going to need to think through when they see the new population numbers, as well as the mechanics that actually are going to happen with continent locking. I'm all for big fights, but I'm also not a fan of just sitting there waiting for my turn in the queue. Overall, I think it's a good thing, but time will tell. And if you guys feel strongly about any of this, please let me know. I mean, I've been reading around and just seeing what the overall impressions of this were, and there's some people that are like, hell yes, big fights, more people, this is going to be great. You've kind of got the homers on either side saying Waterson's better, Matherson's better. I've seen a lot of people saying Matherson's got a more competitive environment, and coming over to Waterson, the Waterson boys are going to cry about it. And I've seen people complaining that you're going to have cry and pray in the air, and that there's big Zerg fits on Mattherson on the VS. Everything's going to balance itself out. It always does. And you may have some factions that have some advantages in some aspects of the game, but bottom line, we will all adapt. At least I think we will. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the PlayStation 4 testing that's going on at E3 right now in the booths. And the PS4 players are getting their first time actually getting to play on the test server and getting that first taste of the game. Now, it's worth noting that the PS4 version, they couldn't get the test server up and running, so they're actually currently playing with PC players. So as if you guys are playing on the test server and want to play some PS4 players, be kind of nice. You know, they're using controllers, and mouse and keyboard has a slight advantage, especially when it comes to accuracy. Not to mention, we've all been playing this game for a year and a half now. So we've kind of been able to hone our craft. So don't scare off new players. Go out there, kind of be nice, answer questions if people have them. Let's try and put a positive face on the community so we can try and bring in new players. I think that kind of brings in another point is, I think if we want this game to survive, we need to be promoting it however we can. And even conversations or videos about the PS4 release still showcases the game overall. And I think it can bring a spike of all players to the table, whether that be PS4 or PC. And who knows, I mean, there may be PC gamers, or PS4 gamers that also are PC gamers and just haven't played it on PC yet, and maybe would rather try it on their computer. So I think it's going to be important. There's already people posting on the Planetside subreddit. You know, we've got the Planetside 2 forums, the official ones. And then, you know, there's questions and stuff popping up on Twitter. But I think it's a good opportunity for us to try and, you know, be helpful, answer questions, and maybe just give some tips and tricks to kind of help some other people avoid some common mistakes that we've all had to learn from. So I think with these two pieces of information, I think, you know, server mergers can be, not necessarily, but can be an indicator that a game is dying off based on population. And, you know, I certainly think that PS2 is going to be around for a while, but I think we can help however we can. And with the PS4 testing going on right now, it's a good opportunity for us to kind of get the game out into the public and see what we can do to kind of help populations grow. So that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think about both of these, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.